Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
Our place in the universe is fixed.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto. I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town? They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits. Selling? No. It is free for all who seek it. I'm sorry you don't find these tried and true words of wisdom to your liking. Have you? These people need something. Mechanical tomfoolery is well out of my purview. I suggest you take such matters to... Oh, and a word of warning. If you're considering wandering around outside the safety of the town, you'd best be... Marauders are about. I happen to know such. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. So you'll consider it? I do appreciate you hearing me out, and, your discretion. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you...
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery. Go right ahead. Other than yourself, definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong, he seems a decent... But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of us. Sometimes I suspect he doesn't even want to. I'd keep a few paces between myself and Miss Holcomb, the town mechanic since her dear father left the workforce. No ill intent in her, mind. Just a queer sort, restless, scatterbrained, inclined to do first and think after. Amelia. Definitely Amelia Kim. I advise against stepping foot in her drinking establishment. Word is, they're gonna replace her with an auto-mechanical barkeep. She's... what's the word? Obsolete. You don't want to associate... What, you mean Edgewater? That's a peculiar... It's, fine and dandy. Couldn't be happier. Wouldn't want to spend my life working anywhere else. Prettiest little town on Terra 2. Do us both a favor and don't try to prove your point. I don't get paid for banter. Was there something you needed? Go right ahead. Work your jaw on some Spacer's music to my ears.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Don't worry.
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me. Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with... I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. No reason you ought to be tarnished by association. People are gonna talk. Figured it was obvious. I got sick. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got. Don't. Please. I could get into a lot of trouble. People trouble. Lazy work. Company always tells us weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with...
What? I'm reloading! Serve you right, dissident! Waste of company ammo!
Hey.
What was that? Brush one off!
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably... Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. So everyone says. Until... I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair... You will also report to me in the event of your death. Whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend, bidless, I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. Thank you, no. I just tell Silas I can't afford to pay. And that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged. What can I do for you? A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. And he allowed you to wander around town spreading your pernicious fantasies about repairing ships? Go ahead. Edgewater, I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 50...
You read the latest report?
Only the part.
I don't know you. Amelia Kim. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here. Am I that easy to read? Yeah, we've been having some problems lately. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it within the premises. Can't have you taking drinks over to those deserters. Coming right up. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated. You tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Do you now? And what makes you think Mr. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great big tower atop the cannery, and you'll get yourself a proper dress. It is a good thing. If you're not pulling your weight, you don't... Go ahead. Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you... Most folk forget. Anyhow, whatever happened. My world is these four walls, that door...
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
I've got some time. Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's... Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department.
Wish we had some better rations.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations. As a Spacer's Choice constable, I am authorized to grant you leave. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just one per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the accepted. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual? You are correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas V. Welles. I am obliged to warn you against forming acquaintanceships, friendships, partnerships, or any I am also obliged to inform you of our referral program. For every criminal you refer to the authorities, the board will reward you. Welles has been wanted for as long as the board decides he has been wanted. Unfortunately, Welles is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Welles, you are required to submit that information to your nearest.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
I know how you feel.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us? Wilson decided.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix the...
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just... old.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so... Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one.
And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent, the people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them. Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go, speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is... You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong. That's what my dad used to say anyway.